What loophole did you exploit for years before someone found out? Parking meters took credit cards. But they weren't actually connected to a live network at all times. The machine just confirmed the card number was valid and was not expired, then spit out a valid pass. So when my card number got stolen and replaced, I kept my old, cancelled card. Of course, when the system tried to run the card later, it would be declined. My car and I were long gone by then. Sadly, they wised up and now it charges your card before giving you a pass. There used to be this app called Free Rice or something on Facebook back when it first came out. It was a widget, I think, where you could answer multiple choice questions and for each one right you would have a grain of rice donated to a family. While that was quite shit because a bowl of rice was a ton of grains, so I one day found out while playing that if I knew an answer 100% I could spam click the answer repeatedly until I got bored, and when the website finally loaded in my selection it would count as a ton of right answers. I eventually earned about 500,000 grains of rice for some family, if they actually ended up donating it. Edit, just to clear it up, I didn't do this over the course of a single day. I meant I found the loophole one day while playing the game normally. Abused the loophole every day after that though. E2U/Kernlow mentions it was most likely 10 grains per right answer, which sounds way more reasonable. Sorry about that. 1 grain would be hilariously bad. I went to a sporting goods store and they asked me for my phone number when I was paying. I was in a bad mood and didn't want to fight with the clerk, so I told them our local area code +555-1212, which is the old number for directory assistance. Clerk accepted it and I left. When I checked my receipt I had a huge number of loyalty points, because apparently a ton of other people did the same thing. I called the office the next day and switched the account to my new address. A half dozen times over the next few years, I went and got free stuff with all the points that I kept tracking up as one of their most loyal customers. 867-5309 often works for this as well. When I was a kid there was a payphone down the street that if you put your quarter in, made a call but no one answered, it would give you back 2 quarters. Went there all the time and called home when I knew no one was there to answer. My friend and I would go around to the payphones at the mall and do the trick where you repeatedly press the lever that hangs up the receiver and out popped a handful of quarters. The McDonald's app used to have an entry in the order book for garlic parmesan fries that you only found through the search option. It cost $0. Every time I ordered it I got free regular fries. Also you can set the drink option on Happy Meals to coffee, which is not really a loophole but handy. In Spain you can get a beer with the Happy Meal. Used to work for the BBC, they have, as you'd expect, their entire archive digitized. I was working on some cloud stuff so needed access to it to check some access rights. This was literally everything ever shown on the BBC ever downloadable in a ton of video and audio formats. iPlayer is just a fraction of what was in that archive. Took them about 6 years after I left to remove my account, so 6 years free access to probably the largest TV and movie database around. Edit, blimey, that was a lot of activity while I was asleep. For those asking, I used it mainly to watch documentaries. I'm a bit of a history bore, so would just search something like World War I and see what popped up. You could download as video or audio. I dropped stuff out as MP3s and listened to it in the car. Yes, it was called Redux and good to see other expos who had access for years. Yes, you have to pay for a TV license in the UK, yes it's crap to be forced into it, but that does mean there are 0 adverts on the channel, which is nice when you're watching a program. Oh, and yes, BBC these days also stands for something else, hilarious. If I had free access to BBC shows, I would never get anything done. Worked out how to get the jackpot every time on a Connect 4 fruit machine in a pub I used to drink in. It would cost about £5, £10 before you'd get into the bonus round, then when you did, you'd play a Connect 4 game against the machine. You place the first counter, and then after the machine places the next counter, you mirror the machine's move. Every game ends in a draw, and you win the jackpot, which was £50. The pub landlord removed the machine after around 3 months as it was regularly empty, basically paid for my drinking and more for 3 months. Those machines normally operate on profit share with the machine owners, so it makes sense it was removed. What's worse about that is that Connect 4 is a solved game. A computer that goes first can win 100% of the time. It would be trivial to maybe it impossible for someone to win the jackpot more than X% of the time like lots of bar games do. My old job, I worked at a pretty large gym, gold level, like the third highest level. Monthly fee was $79 for the gold membership, but employees got a free diamond membership. Worked there for a year and a half before I quit, but my account was never deactivated. Been going there for a while completely free, still not found out. Diamond membership is like $200 a month. For that money, do you get a free hand job after your workout, or what? Used to work at Starbucks like 7 years ago, and they used to print these receipts where if you filled out a survey it would give you a 6-digit code which you could then exchange for a free drink. However, when you gave in the receipt with the code, we would just toss it in the garbage and then give the free drink. So over a shift I would just keep all the survey receipts when people didn't want them, write random numbers on them, then keep a wallet full of free coffee. Since I already got tons of free drinks, I would give them to homeless people and explain it was good for a free coffee. Probably gave away like 100 free drinks. This is the most chaotic good thing I've heard today. They did this same thing at my buddy's coffee shop, and he would save all the receipts and give them to a couple friends to fill out and use. We would always write glowing recommendations about him on the survey, and after a month or so of doing this he actually got a promotion due to all of the positive feedback about him. It was pretty comical. He was costing the business money and got a promotion out of it. It was one of the big chain shops, so I didn't feel the least bit guilty. My family used to go to this campground in the summer and rent a little cabin for like a week. In the main building there was a little arcade, mostly older games, and a foosball table, and an air hockey table. What most people didn't know was, the air hockey table was broke. If you put quarters in, you could push the plunger to start the machine and then get your quarters back if you did it just right. A couple of years in a row were super fun because me and one other kid that knew would keep air hockey going for the entire time. The arcade would be filled with kids who would often play other games while waiting their turn at air hockey. They must have found out after a few years though, because one year we went back and it was fixed. The arcade was also a complete ghost town, and the campground made no money off it after that. That's when I fully realized and understood the concept of a loss leader at like 13 years old. I had the same damn thing happen years ago. You could just give the quarter accepting part of the machine a good whack and the thing would fire up. Free play all day, man, no quarters needed. It got shut down when other kids noticed, think they just ratted rather than taking advantage of it. So the two of you handed out the cheat code for a profit, right? Like a backroom dealer kind of thing? Hey kid, for 25 cents I'll let you play air hockey for free. But you can't tell anyone else, wink wink. Got keys to a new flat on a Friday afternoon. The place had electric but it wasn't in my name. Went to the electric company just before closing and the lady said, flat 8 you say? Hun, we only have record of 7 flats on that building. Tell you what, glances at the clock, come back Monday with the serial number on your meter, and we'll get you all hooked up. I never went back and enjoyed free electric for over 2 years until I moved out. My mum had a flat like that for years, gas and electric. Contacted both the providers in the area and they both said the other one was supplying that flat and she never got a bill. I'd have been mining Bitcoin in that apartment. One week the local Chick-fil-A put a coupon in a local coupon magazine flyer which was buy one, get one free, any item on the menu. Next to that coupon they had a 50% off any menu item. I carefully checked, and neither coupon mentioned cannot be combined with any other offer anywhere on it. So I ran out to the local grocery store and grabbed a stack of these flyers. Sure enough, the next week the offer was gone, but it was too late to stop me. I spent almost 2 years as a grad student living almost exclusively off of 128-count nugget platters that I would get for 25% of the cost, first half off, second free. Place went under new management and they put up a sign saying they would no longer be accepting those coupons. Not entirely sure if that was due solely to me or if anyone else was pulling the same thing. I had about 20 coupon pairs left when they shut it down. I had a similar thing with my friend and canned tuna. We were shopping after our gym visit and came across some incredibly cheap tuna, not even on sale. I think an ordinary can cost something like 1.5 used, but this was like 30 cents. So naturally we bought like 30 cans each on multiple occasions, and a few weeks later the price had gone up to something like 1.3 used instead. I'd like to believe we were the culprits of that. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.